us here at the middle school for Veterans Day Assembly. And thank you for coming. And with that, I'm going to turn it over.
Good morning. We are here today to celebrate Veterans Day. Our country has chosen this day to recognize the extraordinary men and women of the United States military and their heroic sacrifices.
Integrity, bravery, selflessness, loyalty, and a commitment are just a few of the many words we use to describe our veterans. Where would the United States be without them?
We will be listening to the band play the national anthem, and because it's the day of remembrance, there will be no clapping or cheering to follow.
Please stand for the national anthem.
Graciously shared a piece of their military careers with us. We are honored to share them with you. Some served in the Korean War, the Persian War, Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Vietnam. Some are currently serving, and others saw no combat at all. And yet one common theme echoed throughout each and every interview: a love for our country and a dedication to keep our nation free from tyranny.
At the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month, we honor the sons and daughters who answered the call to defend our country. It is our privilege to say thank you to all of America's veterans. Some of them died for us. They didn't have a chance to share their lives with others. They had no future but gave their lives to give us freedom.
U.S. Marine Corps, Private First Class, Rob Slomansky.
The Marine Corps has made me a better man and made me more productive. It teaches you a lot and brings out the good in you.
Desert Storm, U.S. Air Force, Staff Sergeant Kevin Bobo.
Serving in the military showed me how good we have it in this country. I came away with more pride from the United States, feeling that I had contributed to this great country.
Crew Chief Donald Natner, United States Air Force.
To be in the military, you need honesty, integrity, and willingness to learn and adapt. And maybe the most important thing is to be able to work and live with people who are indifferent from yourself. It taught me how to be independent and adapt to these different situations.
It is the veteran, not the poet, who has given us the freedom of speech.
Army Staff Sergeant Don Miller, Operation Iraqi Freedom.
I would recommend the military to young people today because you experience the world in a way that you don't get as a civilian.
Senior Tank Commander David LaTrenta, Vietnam War.
Serving helped me grow up faster and learn to respect and improve myself. My most memorable aspect is gaining the respect from my subordinates and my superiors.
Army Specialist Jim Steffens, Ballistic Meteorologist.
Younger generations need to appreciate veterans because they are willing to give their lives to protect them and their freedoms.
Never be angry at a slow, limping veteran at the store. He walks in pain so you don't have to.
Army Specialist Kevin Catarino, Operation Iraqi Freedom.
I was frightened of not making it back to my family. You learn to be grateful for what you have and live every day to the fullest.
Ammunition Driver Danny Windus, United States Army.
My military experience changed my views. It taught me to be responsible for my own actions.
Cuban Missile Crisis, U.S. Navy Boatswain Maine Raul Ribes.
War has no winner.
When America had an urgent need, these brave ones raised their hand. No hesitation held them back. They were proud to take a stand.
United States Army, Donald Steffes.
The military builds character in a young person. It helps you develop into a self-disciplined adult. You need patience and respect for the person who has responsibility over you.
Operation Iraqi Freedom, Harry Bishop, United States Marine Corps.
I was a total punk, and my service changed that totally. It taught me patience, tolerance, and self-discipline and maturity. You learn to focus on the mission. Someone could scream in your ear, and you will still be focused.
Navy Petty Officer 3rd Class James Somerville, Desert Storm.
The Navy showed me how much of a need there was in the world for support from the U.S. military.
Freedom is a fragile thing, and is never more than one generation away from extinction. It is not ours by inheritance. It must be fought for and defended constantly by each generation, for it comes only once to a people. Those who have known freedom and then has lost it, has never known it again.
Desert Storm, Darren Bowles, U.S. Navy.
Kids do not understand the sacrifices we have made for this country. They should appreciate the people who give their lives for us to be comfortable in this country.
Alan Paronto, United States Army.
Veterans are one of the core groups that has molded our country into what it is today.
Staff Sergeant Robert Kabosh Jr.
The American people do not see all of the positive things that our soldiers are doing to improve the quality of lives of the Iraqi and Afghan people. All the news shows is who has died or was wounded. It feels good when I see a child in the arms of his parents. Only history will tell us if we are doing the right thing.
We salute every one of them, the noble and the brave, the ones still with us here today, and those who rest in the grave.
Private Louis Schmidt, World War II.
Our Navy ship was bombed, and 3 of my friends were never seen again.
2nd Class Navy Petty Officer Ronald Harrison, Korean War.
We had to go through a really bad typhoon with 60-foot waves. We lost 105 feet of the ship, blown right off. 9 were killed.
U.S. Navy, Ross Wallach, Operation Praying Mantis.
It teaches you to pay attention to your surroundings. You can't let your fear control your actions.
There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure.
Tech Sergeant Bernard Wimmer, United States Marine Corps.
You go in as a civilian and leave as a veteran.
War on Terror, U.S. Air Force Aviation Specialist Christopher Cutterback.
In 2003, we got an attack and had to stay in our bunkers for weeks with gas masks. It was a very scary time.
Navy Petty Officer 1st Class James Alstringa, Operation Enduring Freedom.
Unfortunately, U.S. history, world history, and government are being phased out of our schools. There's a growing resentment for democracy, the flag, patriotism, and more. Some do not even know the words to our national anthem.
These are the Americans who were the best when they went to war. God only knows what conditions they were in when they came back.
Vietnam, First Class Petty Officer and Cryptologic Technician.
You realize that once a veteran, always a veteran. You share a special bond with the people you served with and with past veterans as well as future. I made friends for life.
Private First Class Marvin Gordon, United States Army.
If you're looking for a place to build yourself as a person and get mentally and physically stronger, then the Army is for you. If you don't like getting yelled at, then the Army is not for you. But it usually forces you to get into a routine, and these routines will make you feel like it has a meaning. I take more pride in my job.
Operation Iraqi Freedom, Army Sergeant Tim Neary.
If you have actually seen a poor foreign country or people actually starving to death or dying of disease that should be eradicated by now, and still see smiles on their faces, it puts things into perspective. The United States has first world problems where people get bent out of shape for insignificant things.
It is the veteran, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote.
Air Force Corporal Richard Murray.
Recognize veterans, appreciate veterans, congratulate them, and thank them for their work and service.
Afghanistan, Marine Corporal Vernell Scott, Operation Enduring Freedom.
The military changed me for the better. It gave me opportunities and life experiences with different cultures that I otherwise would have never had.
Cold War, Army Specialist Mark Hudson, Germany, 1972.
I met people of all races and creeds. I learned how to get along well with people of all types. I am proud of serving on the front lines and would have given my life for my country.
Operation Iraqi Freedom, Army Sergeant Ray Hiroshima.
The Army made me realize 2 things. 1, how big the world is, and 2, how dangerous it is.
Only the best physically, mentally, and morally are called to war. The tragedy is that only the best are fit to be killed.
Combat Medic Kurt L. Smith, United States Army, Afghanistan.
The military changed everything and every view I had. I look at the value of life and value of my family's life much different than most people. There were many times I was anxious but never scared. I had faith in all of my brothers.
Army Specialist Emery Penn, Field Artillery Firefighter.
I'm very thankful for the privileged life I have here in America. To see children and families that live their lives constantly running from war, and so poor that a small bowl of soup with a few bits of meat is their daily meal, it changes you. And these same people would offer to share their last food with us. It was incredible.
United States Marine Lance Corporal Chris Lopez.
I've become desensitized to a lot of serious issues like death and such. I struggle in civilian life now. Kids need to understand the simplest of things like going to bed in a warm home is a luxury. Because there are soldiers in a 3x3 foot hole in the ground, staying up for days with only the warmth coming from the person next to them. There is so much I wish I could tell kids today.
Here's to our country's heroes. They are cut above the rest. Let's give the honor that is due to our country's very best.
Operations Enduring Freedom, Army Sergeant Jeremy Lee Sarnowski, Sr.
Integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. And undoubtedly, integrity is the most important. Doing the right thing even when no one's watching.
Any country that does not honor its heroes will not long endure.
Vietnam Air Force Civil Engineer John Munsinger.
After I came back from Thailand, I was stationed in Dover, Delaware, and while the Vietnam War was going on, this was the place that they brought the bodies of the fallen soldiers. For 3 years, I was a body escorter, taking them home to be buried. Someone had to do it, so I volunteered. It was hard at times.
Lisa Van Winkle, Operation Enduring Freedom.
Afghanistan scared the heck out of me. We were bombed daily and had many suicide bombers made it into our camp. I had to lie to my mom about how much danger I was really in.
Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
George Sargent, U.S. Navy.
I was on a 6-month tour of duty in the Pacific. My shipmates and I rescued thousands of Vietnamese refugees and allies on a boat lift who would have been killed by the North Vietnamese communists.
Staff Sergeant Eric Goodwater, U.S. Navy.
The expectations of our soldiers is higher than most people would be willing to give. The soldiers volunteer to do whatever our executive and legislative branch of our government wants us to do, even if the soldier doesn't believe that they are making the correct decisions.
It is the veteran, not the preacher, who has given us freedom of religion.
Sergeant First Class Angel Acevedo, Operation Enduring Freedom.
Being in the Army, I have learned 2 things. 1, you can always be better. 2, settling for average should not be an option.
Fallen soldier and former Utah Mayor, Major Brent Taylor.
I hope everyone back home exercises their precious right to vote, and whether the Republicans or the Democrats win, I hope that we all remember that we have far more as Americans that unites us than divides us. May God forever bless America.
Army Staff Sergeant Joey Santiago.
A good soldier never judges a person before you get to know them. I did what many others before me chose to do. A hero in my eyes are the fathers and mothers who raise their children to be honest, respectful people.
In our sophistical society, this is a special breed performance, a sacrificial service only the brave are selected.
In World War II, Major John McCree wrote a poem about a fellow fallen soldier. He referenced the red poppy flowers that you see your teachers wearing today. It symbolizes the soldiers who have died for our country. Please listen to our choir sing the beautiful poem turned song in Flanders Fields.
To all the veterans who died for our country and were unable to fulfill their dreams, we thank them for giving us the freedom to follow ours.
To all the veterans who are currently serving, your devotion to protect our land, sea, and air is immeasurable. Thank you for putting our lives before your own.
To all of the veterans with us here today, we thank you for your service and dedication to our country. It is through your commitment that has allowed us to live in the land of the free.
And to all of you here at CMS, never forget, freedom is not free. And next time you see a veteran, offer to shake their hand, tip your hat, smile, or simply say thank you.
Would the veterans who are here with us today please stand? Thank